So what I was gonna say is, if LeBron goes
Jesus, pull
7 for
yourself
20
together, LeBron.
or 7 for 29, like if he just has an awful shooting night, but he shoots a lot of shots, like he's really aggressive, I think that people will like 7 for 14 and seeming passive at times. Of just
You never see that with the Heat. You never see LeBron go 7 for 29, and I think it's because he doesn't like to upstage Dwayne Wade. When he doesn't have his shot going well, he has another guy that he can pass to, and he has to answer to Dwayne Wade, and he didn't have that relationship in Cleveland. He could shoot 3 for 6,000. It didn't matter because at the end of the day, no one's going to tell him not to. But in Miami, he's got to look over and answer to Dwayne Wade. Yo, why aren't you passing me the ball? You're shooting 6 for 1,000. So there is that new dynamic, and it's natural. I think it's just a human instinct that as soon as you have another voice of authority on your team, you're not going to be as assertive when things aren't going your way. But I agree with you. The fans would much rather see him go 6 for 29 than 6 for 9, even if at the cost of efficiency.
I do remember a game, I think you're right, because I remember a game in Minnesota where Troy Hudson went 3 for 6,000. No one cared. It wasn't even like front page news. It wasn't even front page news here.
Right.
Simmons mentioned that since LeBron wasn't able to close out the All-Star game, he's played really poorly, but that also coincides with when he allegedly was too tough for a concussion and his play went down. Did you see it as consequences of a potential concussion, and that's why he played poorly, or did he just play poorly? Did he just get one of those bad streaks?
We don't have to hedge. I've hedged in my writing, but at this point, I think there's no doubt that he suffered a concussion. I had the question. I wrote a long column on did he have a concussion, and I kind of left it open-ended. Then later I said he had post-concussion symptoms. I have no doubt in my mind that he had a concussion, and that's the big problem here is that he did say that he was too tough to have a concussion brain injury, as if that really is logical whatsoever.
Seems medically impossible.
I've suffered two mild concussions in a swimming pool once and on the basketball court, and I had headaches for days. And LeBron James said that he had headaches, like splitting headaches for the next couple days, and he was woozy. I mean, how did he not have a concussion? I mean, he was rolling around on the ground for like 16 minutes, and I attribute his decline not to post-concussion. I mean, not to the All-Star game thing. I attribute that to the post-concussion stuff. It's a sad thing. I wish we could talk about this for another 30 minutes. But just the state of the NBA and their relationship with concussions. And Beckley, you've been all over this. It's sad. It really is, because all these 15-year-old, 10-year-old kids are watching him say, I'm too tough for concussions. And next time they do have a head injury, they're going to say, well, that's kind of embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I'm a coward because I got a head injury. Like, what? That's bad.
Yeah, we would have... we had to baseline all our kids, and after these are precious private school 16-year-old brains. So we really had to any knock to the head to do another test to check it out, and the fact that they basically went over to LeBron, looked in his eyes, he was tracking. I mean, I'm sure LeBron wanted nothing more than to get back in the game, and then they're like, all right, well, you're wearing a headband, that should keep you safe. It's just
Beckley, here's the most ridiculous thing.
Literally mind-boggling.
Here's the most ridiculous thing. Dwayne Wade, after the game, he's like, I knew he was okay because he knew the clock and score. Okay? The first thing that LeBron did before he stood up was he looked at all the Jumbotron, the screens everywhere, and everywhere it has the clock and score. Okay? So I don't know whether LeBron knew instinctively that he was going to be asked, where are you, what's the score, but he knew that, and that's not really a check. It's not a very medical. It's not standard practice there. I don't doubt that the trainer actually asked him a few questions and cleared him, but I just wonder, with a guy like LeBron, with his ego, with his ego on the line and his marketing, everything. Kobe Bryant did the same thing, where he got back right out on the floor. And I wonder if Kobe Bryant sat out for 2 weeks, what would LeBron James's reaction be? Like, what would his response to the concussion be?
Great question, man. Unfortunately, we can't answer it, and we actually have to move along to the next guest. Sorry you got pushed back a little bit for our technical fiasco.
Well, thanks for having me on, guys. And it's been too long. I missed you. I missed you guys.
I miss you so much.
Aw.